Your bad habits aren't the problem. You're not trying to fix the right thing. You're trying to do all these tactics just to fix your bad habits. But that's not going to work. You've seen it yourself. To really fix these things, you have to focus on the problem and not the symptom. These bad habits are the symptoms of the real problem, that is mental health. You're trying to remove this habit by focusing on it, trying out these tactics, but focusing on the habit is not going to help you. As long as the problem remains, these symptoms will keep coming up, even if you reduce it. Right now, we live in a mental health crisis. Almost everyone has a bad habit these days, a habit they're trying to kick, whether it's drinking, drugs, video games, watching too much TV, scrolling on Instagram. We all have a bad habit, and we're all trying to kick it one way or another. The real way to remove these habits is by focusing on your mental health. And the way to do that is to start caring about your mental health. Now, what determines your mental health? What determines how you feel? Why do we say that one person has better mental health than the other person? Well, it all comes back to a molecule we have in our brain called dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in our brain that's released when we do a pleasurable activity. That's what makes us feel good. That's what makes us feel pleasure, and that's what we crave. That's why we do these habits like drinking, watching too much TV, scrolling on Instagram. We do these things because we crave more dopamine. Doing these dopaminergic activities to make ourselves feel better. When we feel down, we go do one of these activities and we supposedly feel better. We think we feel better. But usually after we are done doing these activities, we end up feeling worse than we did before. Now, why does that happen? Your body releases a constant level of dopamine 24/7. That's always flowing through your body. That level of dopamine determines your mood, happiness, your mental health, how you feel, your motivation, your desire, your drive. It all comes back to dopamine and the level of dopamine that's currently flowing through your body. What happens to this level when we go do a bad habit? Initially, we're at the baseline level, the level at which the dopamine is circulating throughout our body. That's a normal level. When we do one of these activities, we spike that level. The level of dopamine in our body increases and keeps increasing as long as we're doing that habit. But once we stop doing that habit, the dopamine level falls back down, and it falls and continues falling even past the baseline. So we end up with a level of dopamine that was below the previous baseline that we had. And this is what causes bad mood, depression, frustration, all these things. And that's what leads to bad mental health. It's a drop off in dopamine, level of dopamine below the baseline. And when we get to that point, we feel agitated, we feel a pain, not physical pain, but the pain that's created by lack of dopamine. When we feel that pain, we feel that desire to get back to the level that we were at before, the baseline. So what we do is continue indulging. We indulge more in that habit. Again, we get that peak. It goes a little bit above baseline, then comes down, and even further down than it was previously. So we have the baseline, the level that we had after we did the habit, and now it goes even further down. And the more and more we do these actions, the more and more we do these behaviors, the more our dopamine continues to fall. Levels in our body stay at this level, and if you allow it, it will slowly come back to the baseline. But what we do is we don't let it come back. We don't ride out that trough. What we do is try to force it back to baseline by doing these dopaminergic activities. And this is the wrong way to go about it. This is how we end up with such slow dopamine levels that we end up depressed, unmotivated. That's what creates bad mental health. And when we have bad mental health, we desire dopamine. And when we desire dopamine, we go do these bad habits that we know are bad for us, but for some reason we're just not able to stop. This is the reason that your bad habits are not the problem. Your bad habits develop because of your bad mental health. And because of your bad mental health, you do these bad habits. So from now on, stop trying to cure your bad habits by focusing on them. Instead, focus on improving your mental health, and these bad habits will fade away. Now your level of dopamine is quite low, I assume. So how do we bring it up? How do we bring it up faster? We want to bring it up as fast as we can so we can feel good about ourselves. But if we try doing these activities that spike our dopamine, we're just going to end up falling deeper down the hole. Now we have to use that trough to our advantage. The way the dopamine dips below baseline. How can we do that? By experiencing pain. Pain is a powerful stimulant, not physical pain, but the pain that's caused by lack of dopamine in our body. Now, how can we create this lack of dopamine? That's by doing uncomfortable tasks, like going to the gym, doing your homework when you really don't want to do it, doing your work that's been pending for a long time, but you just sit down. It's uncomfortable, but you push through and do it. And afterwards, you feel so good. You feel like you've accomplished so much. Why? Because when you do these hard tasks, when you do these uncomfortable tasks, when you go to the gym when you really don't feel like going, your dopamine takes a dip. If your level of dopamine is already low, and from that level, it goes further down, takes a dip while you're doing the activity, and towards the end, it starts coming up. And it keeps going up even further than the level you were at before. And your dopamine levels increase. When your dopamine levels increase, you feel happier, you feel more motivated, your mental health gets better, and you're less inclined to do these bad activities because you already have a decent amount of dopamine now. So you don't need to do these bad habits to get that dopamine up. So do these things, uncomfortable things. Get your dopamine up, improve your mental health, get sunlight. That's very important. Get sunlight, go for a morning walk. As soon as possible after you wake up, go for a morning walk. Go get that sunlight, even if it's very cloudy in your area. The amount of light coming through those clouds is more than if you turn on all the lights in your house. It's very strong. It's a powerful stimulant for your mood, your mental health. Start going to the gym. Start doing more uncomfortable activities. Start living like a normal human being. Start living like how a human being is supposed to live. We're not supposed to be inside all day. We're not supposed to be on our phones the whole day. You're supposed to be out, getting sunlight, being in nature, like how a human being is supposed to live. Not the way we're living now. You'll find that your mood gets so much better. Go take a walk in nature. Take a walk in nature. So connect with good people. Social connection is very strong in improving your mental health and your mood. You have good conversations. If you have good social connections, if you go out once in a while with your friends, it's really powerful. It has a really profound impact on your mental health, your mood, and your life just gets better. So remember this. The next time you're going to do an activity, ask yourself, is this going to decrease my dopamine levels or is this going to increase it? Will I feel better after doing this activity or will I feel worse? Make sure you make the right decision for your mental health because you're supposed to be happy. Everyone's supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to be sad, depressed, anxious. Now, these feelings are part of life, but you're not supposed to be feeling them 24/7. And this is how you build yourself. This is how you build happiness. You got to work on it yourself. There's no one going to spoon feed this to you. So work on your mental health. Your bad habits will fade away and good habits will rush into your life.